Hello and welcome to Top Tips Around Legislation. This one's very important, obviously, and something that we see new providers get wrong on a fairly regular basis. So when you're setting up a children's home, you'll be needing to write a full set of policies and procedures that govern the way that you operate. There will be a strong temptation to go online, find a template, tweak it a little bit maybe, and feel like you've ticked the box. Please don't do that. My top tip for the legislation module is ensure that your policies reflect the legislations that local authorities are actually working to, not just the regulations that govern your home. So let me explain a little bit. Your home will be regulated by the Children's Homes Regulations 2015. That's your primary framework, and you must know it inside out. But the children that are placed with you will arrive through a completely separate legislative framework, and if your policies don't speak that language, you're going to struggle to build credibility with placing authorities, and more importantly, you might struggle to meet the needs of the children that are placed with you. So what do you need to understand? Well, there is a plethora of legislation that will impact your decision making and your planning, and particularly your policy and procedure development. But I would say consider some of these primarily. So the Care Planning, Placement and Case Review Regulations 2010 and the statutory guidance that sits with it govern how local authorities make placement decisions. For example, what needs to go into a child's care plan, what reviews must happen, how frequently. So your policies on care planning, placement agreements and review participation, they really need to align with that, not just reference it vaguely, but reflect how it will actually work in relation to your part of the multi-agency framework. Second, the current working together to safeguard children. This is massively important, obviously, and it's statutory guidance which underpins multi-agency safeguarding across the social care system. So your safeguarding policy must be written with it in mind. You need to reference to the same sorts of referrals, routes, thresholds, expectations around information sharing and responding to allegations and disclosures. But you'll need to keep an eye here because working together is regularly refreshed as part of reforms that go on into social care. So make sure you're always working to the latest version. Thirdly, I'd say think about the Children Act 1989 and the Children Act 2004. These are the foundation stones of children placed in care. Things like the paramountcy principle, the welfare checklist, and specifically the duty to promote a child's educational achievement. It can't just be background knowledge. These issues need to be woven into your statement of purpose and into the policies that shape how you work with children every day. Fourth, and this is one that new providers often don't think about, the Children and Social Work Act 2017. If your home's going to be supporting children of the age of 16 or 17, or any children who are approaching leaving care, it's essential that you build upon it. That your policies and procedures align with it. The legislation builds upon the Leaving Care Act 2000, and the Act strengthens the duties around care leavers, for example, corporate parenting principles, the local authority's local offer for care leavers, and personal advisor support, which now extends to the age of 25. So your policies need to show how you are going to contribute to that overall framework. So things around pathway planning, transition planning, support for enduring relationships, not just a cliff edge at the point a young person leaves your establishment. And again, this is a live area. There are current reforms extending corporate parenting duties across more public bodies, pushing residential care towards planned relationship-based transitions. If you can show that you understand the direction of travel, you will stand out. So here's the practical bit. When you're writing your policies, ask yourself this. If a social worker from a placing authority reads this, will they recognise the language? Will they trust that we understand the system that their child is coming from? Because commissioning decisions, especially spot purchase decisions, are often made quickly and on the basis of trust. If you have a policy suite that shows genuine legislative literacy, you can start to build that trust before you've even had a conversation with a placing social worker or a commissioning officer. So, get the legislation right and your policies become one of your strongest assets. Get it wrong and they could become a liability or the first sign to an inspector or a social worker that you don't yet understand the world your children are living in.